When you develop an Access application for your users, one of the most common tasks you'll have them perform is to click a command button to display a database object. In this movie, I'll show you how to create a VBA macro to open a report. In the previous movie, I showed you how to open a form. If you didn't change the form's mode, Access displayed it in normal mode. If you open a report in default mode, Access sends it directly to the printer. So let's see what we need to do. First thing I'll do is right-click the Open a Report form and then open it in Design View. So now I have this form open in Design View, and I can right-click the Display Products Report command button, and then from the shortcut menu that appears, click Build Event. Then in the Choose Builder dialog box, click the Code Builder option, and then click OK. Doing so creates a new code module, and it's called Command 0 Click, and that means that anytime we click Command button 0, which is the one that we right-clicked and then launched the code builder from, when that button is clicked, this code will run. So I'll press Enter twice, and then the up arrow to give myself a little room, and now I can type in the code that will open the report. So in this case, it's do command do capital CMD, period, and then the method we're using is open report, all one word. So it's OPEN REPORT, and then a space. Now we type the report name, and that name needs to be in double quotes. So type double quote, and then products report, PRODUCTS, space report, REPORT, and then double quotes. Now, if we were to run the macro in exactly this state, as I said earlier, Access would send the report to the printer. If you've got a large table or a large report, that means that you could be printing out a lot of pages or maybe a large PDF file. So instead, what you probably want to do, if you're going to display it on the screen, is to change it to preview mode. To do that, type a comma, and then you can select which mode you want to display the report in. So design, layout, and so on. And in this case, we want preview, which is the next to last item in the list. And when it's highlighted, I'll press Tab to accept it. And now we can apply some other arguments if we want to. So if I type a comma, I can apply a filter name. And in Access, a filter is a query. So in other words, if I had a query, which I do, that sorts the contents of the products table by name as opposed to the usual sort, which is by product ID, then I could specify that here and have the resulting report displayed in alphabetical order by product name as opposed to by number. So let's go ahead and do that. And we need to put the query name in double quotes. So double quote, and then it's BY space NAME, double quote, and then type a comma. The next argument is a where condition, and that is a structured query language or SQL where statement that you could type in just leaving out the where. SQL where statements are beyond the scope of this course, so we won't be using it, and I'll just type a comma. Next, we can choose how to open this particular report. In other words, what type of window. We can open as a dialog box, as a hidden window, which means it's there and can be acted upon, but the user can't see it, as an icon, or as a normal window. In this case, I'll just go ahead and go with the default, which is normal window. So I will use the down arrow to select it, and then press Tab. Now, if I were to press a comma, I could apply some open arguments, which are basically arguments that you set to control how the report is opened. In this case, we won't be using them, and they're beyond the scope of this discussion, so I'll just press Enter. Now with that code in place, I can press Alt F11 to go back to the form that has the Display Product Report button, and then on the Design tab, I can click the View button, which is currently set for Form View. If you need to, you can click the View button's down arrow, and then click Form View. And then, with the form in place, you can click the Display Products Report button, and Access displays the report. You have lots of control over your report when you open it using VBA code. But remember that using the do command object's open report method prints the report immediately unless you change the statement's view argument.